Welcome back to another episode of the Rewind Rewatch podcast. My name is Joel.
And I'm Andrene.
And we are siblings reviewing, rewatching, and discussing 90s movies. We have been rocking on for a few months now. This is episode 33. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. I feel like we just started it.
I know, seriously.
But yeah, the listeners' feedback has been great. For those of you who have been following along with this journey, we have been collecting recommendations on 90s movies to review from you, the listeners. We have a lengthy list that we have been going through. And I don't know if we've ever actually told you how we're doing this behind the scenes, but when we review the list, each of us alternates picking movies. So I'll pick one week, and then Andrene will pick one the next week. And what we do after watching the movie, we discuss it on here. We talk about what we liked, what we didn't like so much, things that may not have aged well. And then we give the movie a rewind rating from 1 to 5 based on how likely we are to rewatch it again in the future.
Yep.
So for today's episode, this was my pick, as I said, and we are going to review 1992's Boomerang.
Yeah,
starring Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm. This is rated R. This has a runtime of 1 hour and 57 minutes, and it was requested by Tanea and Ayla.
Oh, shout out to Tanea, shout out to Ayla. This is one of those OG Eddie Murphy classics. We talk about Eddie Murphy, of course. Big star in the 80s, going
Huge.
into the 90s. Huge, very big. One of the biggest, one of the best. I think he got his start on SNL. And then he had a number of very successful stand-up specials, and then he kind of pivoted into movies. So Boomerang is in that category, along with your Harlem Nights and your Trading Places and Vampire in Brooklyn and Life. Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think there's 7, but yeah, Eddie Murphy was one of those guys that was a big star, and especially as a black comedian, also commanded a lot of power and attention at that time, probably more so than many other black comics at the time. So he, I think, also executive produced this movie. He put a lot of black talent in the film. And we'll talk about who else was in the cast. I feel like in 1992, most of these people who went on to become very famous probably were not famous yet.
Exactly. That's absolutely right. When I was looking at the filmography, or even just different TV shows that a lot of these different actors did, this is pretty much very early on. And a lot of stars got their start here, both as far as acting and also as far as music, which I will go on to talk about later on. So
let's talk about the cast.
Yeah, apart from Eddie Murphy, the first person that I saw, as far as looking into who was in the film, you see Robin Givens. And Robin Givens, how I knew her was the fact that, she was with Mike Tyson back in the day. That was really all the rave. And I was like, oh, this is a gorgeous woman who's, married to, or dating and then
with
married
this
to
brute.
This guy. Then, yeah, and they had,
with this ruffian.
A very, very ugly breakup. But she's just gorgeous. She's one of these women that, she walked into a room and, you're going to look at her regardless of who you are. She just gorgeous, in my opinion, at least.
Well, the irony of that is Halle Berry is also in this movie.
Yeah.
Who has come to be, who's gone on to become the epitome of how you're describing Robin Givens.
Yes.
And she's kind of an artsy, she's the art director at this place where Eddie works, Marcus. And I feel like they downplay her in terms of how she dresses and the makeup.
Yes.
And you wouldn't necessarily know that this is, she's still Halle Berry, so she's still obviously very pretty. But the film definitely plays up Robin Givens' attractiveness way more than Halle. She's supposed to be kind of like more of the round-the-way girl.
Exactly. And that is funny when you think about, what she becomes later on. So prior to this movie, a year before, Halle Berry was actually in Jungle Fever. But
she was a drug addict in that movie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Also not the photo portrait of glamour.
Exactly. This was more of like a breakout performance for her. And then after this, she does like Losing Isaiah in 95. She does, Baps, which was not the best movie, but in 97.
Cult classic still.
It is a cult classic. Bulworth in 98. Mm-hmm. And then she did like X-Men and a bunch of other X-Men movies afterwards. I'm not going to go through all of them. There was Swordfish. There was Monsters Ball. She was in a 007.
I remember Swordfish.
Well, I'm sure you did. Gothica. And then most recently, I saw her in John Wick 3, I believe, back in 2019.
She's done mad movies.
Yeah, she's Halle Berry.
When we talk about like guys who maybe weren't as big stars yet, I feel like one of the big differences is probably Martin Lawrence, mm-hmm. who at 1992, I'm pretty sure already had his own sitcom. Yeah. So I don't think this was a situation where Eddie was like necessarily giving him a shot, because he was already kind of a star on his own, and then they would also go on to make Life together, I think 1998. So they ended up co-starring again down the road. Chris Rock is in this movie, and he is certainly not a big star yet. At all.
He's a very small part. He's just kind of like the mailroom guy who shows up and kind of gives Marcus like props for, being who Marcus is, and like, ooh, who are you dating now? Like he was just like all in on Marcus and how he's able to dog these women. Like he just would like place bets with like the other guys in the mailroom to see like how long it would take Marcus to get with different girls.
And this is Marcus's reputation. But we're not done yet. We also have David Alan Grier, my main man.
You love him.
We also have my other main man, John Witherspoon, which makes a great cameo appearance as David Alan Grier's dad. Eartha Kitt is in this movie.
Oh my gosh, was she? And like in a role that I never think I would ever see her doing.
Marcus, darling.
It's so out of control. Well, speaking of out of control,
Tisha Campbell.
You have Tisha Campbell, who's on here, and she plays Marcus's neighbor and someone who apparently they used to hook up at one point, and then he kind of curved her or ghosted her, and he has since like filed a restraining order, but she consistently warn women who come to his apartment that like basically run for your life.
Don't fall for it.
He don't fall for it. He's trash, and she holds up signs. All of her scenes were hilarious to me because it's just
she kills.
Marcus, I know you hear me, you slimy, sleazy, sneaky, slithering son of a bitch. Why don't you just tell her the truth? Tell her you're gonna use her, then you're gonna dump her like you did me.
Just imagine trying to bring someone home and your next door neighbor is just like trying to essentially cock block the entire time. It's just hilarious. But to me, like probably the most outlandish performance has to come from Grace Jones.
Strong J.
Like, what in the world was she doing? Every scene that she was
Strong
in,
J.
It was beyond extra. Extra's not even the right word to discuss how extra she was being. She's a Jamaican American model, for those of you who don't know. And she basically becomes the new face of the company. So we kind of got to backtrack a little bit and explain.
I didn't even know Grace Jones was Jamaican American.
Yeah.
But in the movie, she's French. She's not. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, she's one of us. One of us. Okay. So Marcus Graham, who's Eddie Murphy's character, the way I would describe him, it's like he is this suave, like clean-cut marketing exec who is the epitome of a playboy.
He's an F-boy. Yeah.
Like, yes, he is the original F-boy. Like, you see him walking around the office when he first comes in, and like every woman in the office knows who he is, of course. He's smiling, he's flirting with them, commenting on how people look. And the women are all just like falling over him, which to me is like, okay, we get that he's attractive. We get that he's like doing well financially, professionally, and all that. But these women are just like, oh, Marcus. And then you see him walk up to outside of his office. He sees his receptionist there. And so he says to her like, okay, I I want you to go ahead and send a single rose to, and he starts listing all of these names. There's like 7 different women. And he says, on the card, put thinking only of you. So instantly we know, okay,
this guy's trash.
This guy's trash.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Romance. So we know this is who he is. This is how he acts. And what I found to be, well, I'll talk about that later. What ends up happening is we see him a lot with his boys. And they talk about like dating in general and how he is. And he just ends up being one of the guys who it's like he goes out with a woman. He like love bombs her essentially. He can't get enough of her. He woos her. And then as soon as he sleeps with her, he loses interest. And we all know these men, right? This is what he does, and he loves to do it, and he's great at it. And this is how he lives his life, and he's fine.
I feel like the scene where they're first meeting up, it's him and Tyler, who's played by Martin Lawrence, and Gerard, who's played by David Allen Greer. Mm-hmm. And Tyler's on the left of the screen, and Gerard's on the right, and Marcus kind of sits between them, both in the shot, but also figuratively, he sits between them because Tyler is like this ridiculous, over-the-top misogynist who really is just talking about women in terms of what you could get out of them, try to sleep with them, whatever. And Gerard is almost like too shy, where he's too passive, and he's talking about like trying to, you need to be more in touch with your feminine side. But Tyler and Gerard both aren't getting any women. So Marcus is kind of like the happy medium between the two of them, where it's like, I'm still aggressive, I still know how to talk to women, but I'm not being rude to them, or I'm not, belittling them. So it's still, and the way that he does it, like we even see he meets a character that's played by Layla Rashawn from Waiting to Exhale. Mm-hmm. And she's like out in the streets with her dog, and he hits on her. Long story short, when he gets her back to his house, and it's like he kind of does everything, makes her dinner, gets her flowers. Mm-hmm. But then when it comes time to like make that move, he's kind of like, oh no, I can't. And so he does the whole like, I'm a sensitive guy, I just got out of such a serious breakup, and makes the whole sex thing basically her idea. Mm-hmm. So then when he walks away, we actually don't see this character again for the rest of the movie, but presumably he does this all the time. And then it's kind of like, well, I didn't want to sleep with you in the first place. It was your idea.
Exactly.
So he does talk to his friends about like this concept of how you have to listen to women, you have to understand them in order to kind of get with them. And I feel like he is someone who is obviously observant and uses it to his advantage. Not necessarily that he like cares about any of these women, but he does know how to talk to women, how to hit the different spots in their brain to make them think that he's a good guy. And then basically is just like, yeah, I'm over this.
And arguably, I feel like that's worse than
Tyler?
Martin Lawrence's character. Because at least with him, it's like he's a dog, but he's a dog. So it's very easy to avoid being with someone like that. Like this is the kind of guy who refers to all women as bitches.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire movie. And so you already know, like, this is the kind of guy, like, I would never talk to. But see, it's the Marcus guys who you think are the good guys. And that's where you get tripped up, because you're thinking like, oh, this poor guy, he lost his doggy, or he's so sensitive, his last girlfriend did whatever, and you feel bad for him. And then you come to realize like, nah, you just got played.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? It's like, is it worse to be outwardly misogynist, or is it worse to be someone who pretends to care about women but is really just lying the whole time?
Well, you know what I think.
Yeah, obviously you think it's worse to be a liar, and he's definitely a liar, because even when we talk about how he meets Layla Rashawn, he sees her walking her dog and goes up to this old couple and basically offers them $20 to buy their dog leash. And then walks over to an area where she's standing with her dog and pretends that he lost his dog so that he could get her number. And like, yo, can you give me a call if you find him?
Diabolical.
And then he somehow obviously like gets her over his apartment afterwards and still is continuing this lie about his dog. She comes over the place and she's asking him about the dog and he's like, oh, he's not here right now. He's at the groomers. So like he's already just like, he's trash. And they've established this early in the film. Like we talked about when we watch Liar Liar, how like they established early that character is trash. It's very much the same thing. It's like, you know, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And also, can we talk about this apartment that he has? Because that apartment is massive, number one.
Yes.
It's like a penthouse apartment in New York City, so you know it's not cheap. He also has an executive job for like a marketing company. He's a marketing executive for a cosmetics company.
Correct. But I mean, like, you can tell he has money because even like the way he dresses, I mean, he's dressed to the nines and he really does like just look like money, essentially. So it's very clear. So you got to think about it. Like, as a woman, you meet this guy who's super nice. He's super thoughtful. He's well put together. He clearly has money. It's like, he's the quote unquote perfect guy.
Yeah, well, he's a little too perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So
he and then the other thing that they have in this conversation is he basically says that, or his friends tell him that he's being too picky and he constantly comes up with reasons to stop talking to women. So it's like, you get the sense that he's not really looking for love. He just likes the thrill of the chase. He gets with these women and then as soon as he, sleeps with them, then it's kind of like, I'm over this, on to the next. So there's no sense, at least from as I'm watching it, that he's like, oh man, I'm super picky and I really want this. It's just like, yeah, like I'm creating these excuses so that I can bail because I'm not actually really looking for anything serious.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I feel like this is kind of around the part where we meet with Eartha Kitt's character.
Well,
how would you describe her?
Sexually charged.
Lady Eloise.
Marcus. I love how when she brings him over to her place to have a quote unquote business meeting, her butler is there just giggling the whole time because he's like, bro, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. And she's obviously, Lady Eloise is basically supposed to be the head of this new cosmetics line that is basically taking over his company. And so he understands that as the head of the company, if he could get on her good side, then she'll make him the chief marketing executive.
Yeah, because she basically says to him like, oh, we need strong department heads to oversee this merger that's coming. So yeah, he's thinking like, okay, I'll come over there, have dinner with her. We'll discuss, my plans for the company. And then essentially she'll, give me this promotion that I want. Perfect. But that is not at all what happens.
I mean, she has no intention to talk business. She has no intention to, she's literally twirling the asparagus spears around her mouth while she's eating dinner. She's saying all types of things to him, even before they have dinner. Like, she's hitting on him in the conference room at work.
Openly.
I don't want to blow my own horn, but I'm really qualified.
You shouldn't have to blow your own horn. You should leave that for someone else to do.
And then after he comes over her place and she has dinner with him, somehow they end up in her bedroom and she's wearing lingerie.
Bruh, this is really confused me because I'm like, y'all went from dinner to like, let's just go into the bedroom?
Well, this is the thing. Even when she basically seduces him, tells him to take off his shirt, she's rubbing her foot up against his neck and all this stuff. She tells him, get more comfortable, get in the bed. At no point is he revolting or at no point is he like hesitating. Yeah. He seems like on board with this. Like, like this is kind of what I have to do to get this promotion. Then I'm fine with just like sleeping with this old woman.
Yeah.
So
it's not great.
it's definitely not great, and it definitely is not. You would think in your head as you're watching the scene play out, like, oh, he's gonna be so grossed out and he's gonna try to push back, but like he doesn't push back. He just goes with it.
All he says is like, "Oh, turn off the lights."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And what I did notice that she had those old clap on, clap off, clap, clap. And so like I remember being younger and seeing those commercials on TV and wanting those lights so bad. Like to be able to clap
in
your hands,
1992, having the clapper was kind of like that was like the edge of technology.
I wanted it so bad. So yeah, they did that, and basically they insinuate they slept together that night. So Marcus thinks he's up. He's like, okay, I'm about to get this promotion. The deal is done. So next day he goes into work, and
that's when he meets our friend Robin Givens,
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
And he learns quickly that Jacqueline is taking over the marketing department as head. And he's like, he can't believe what's happening because he's like, wait, what do you mean? And so she knows that he hooked up with Lady Eloise.
Yeah, because she even tells him, like, bro, you don't know this is what she does? Like, she actually has no power in this company. She gave up her stake in this company like 15 years ago. She's just a figurehead. And he's like, oh, damn.
You got bamboozled.
But again, he's not even that fazed by it.
He's not.
It's like he has sex with different women every week. So it's just another body. It just happens to be an old woman. But he's just like, oh, damn, that sucks. But then he just moves on from it very quickly.
You're absolutely right about that.
Like, he's not phased. He's just like, oh, damn, I slept with that old woman for no reason. All right, cool.
All right.
But can I sleep with you? And so the whole time he's just like trying to sleep with Jacqueline, who's now his boss. And also,
it's just so messy.
This entire situation with Jacqueline and Marcus is just a hot mess because, yes, they work together. She's basically his boss now. And although she is kind of initially playing him off to the side, she still is flirting with him, and she's still giving him like a lot of space to feel like he has a chance. And this
He's
is where
interested for sure.
Well, this is the whole thing, right? It's like when she first starts talking to him, she's like flirting. They're at that party, and she like says like, "Oh, let me blow the eyelash out your eye." And she's like rubbing her hands on his face. Like it's very like, yo, y'all are at a work party.
Y'all at work.
And you're doing this? Like, this is your boss. Like, you've literally just merged companies. You started working with this guy like 2 days ago. You're openly flirting at a work party.
Yeah, I didn't understand
with your direct report. Like, it was very OD, but all right, we digress. Right. But then he finally gets her over his house, which apparently in the world of Boomerang, people only have dates at their houses.
Apparently, I was thinking the same thing. Like, he's cooking dinner for these women for every single date.
But even later on in the movie, when Gerard and Angela have a date, Gerard goes to Angela's house as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, so everybody just invites people over their crib? Maybe it was a different time in 1992. I wasn't going on dates at that time, but...
But hey, I mean, a home cooked meal is a good date because like it shows you're putting forth effort.
It is a good date. I feel like in the modern day, or even the past 10 or 15 years, people are a lot more hesitant to just go to somebody's house, especially on a first date.
Yeah, safety issues and all that.
Yeah, at the very least. Not to mention, it's just like it commits a lot, right? Like it's like because now it's not like, oh, we're at this neutral place and I can just bounce if this doesn't go well. It's like, now I'm just at your house.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of a commitment. Outside of, not to mention, like, the safety issue. But it's also just like, yo, I'm at your house. And then from the other side of it, if I don't like this person, I don't want them to know where I live.
Exactly. Start showing up out of nowhere.
Right. Like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Like, you live 30 minutes from here. Why are you here, bro?
Yeah. So they have this whole date, and he's thinking like, "This is perfect. I'll get her over here. I'll cook her my famous meal, and then straight to the bedroom.
I'm gonna do what I do."
Yeah, they're eating, and then she's like not really paying attention to him. And he's like, yo, what's going on? And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. The Knicks game is on. Can I put it on? So he's like, okay. So they end up sitting in front of the TV with their plates of food and they're watching the Knicks game. I mean, like, she is like clearly into the game. Like, and he's not at all. He's sitting back on the couch like, bro, this is not
He's sick.
what I wanted to do.
He's sick. He's sick because he's like, yo, this whole night is about me getting in the drawers.
Right.
So it's like, why are we watching Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing? Like, this is not how Michael Jordan was not a part of my plans
At all. So nothing happens that night, and he's blown. So he gets back to work. I mean, this guy is just known for being such trash. Like I said before, Chris Rock's character comes in the next day, and it's like, yo, like, did you smash her yet? And it's like, bro, the fact that you're coming to work and people are just asking you casually if you've slept with your boss is insane.
He says they have a betting pool in the mailroom about how long it's going to take for him to hit. He's like, yo, me and the guys in the mailroom, we put down bets.
Yo, this work environment is extremely toxic. I just want to say that. Like if I was a woman working there, I would not feel comfortable at all.
Nah, that's crazy.
Just putting that out there. So now he's like, okay, bet I gotta get in. And so it's like around this time, you know, we end up meeting Halle Berry's character. Like we said, she works in the art department, and it was actually during that like big merger party that Jacqueline introduces them. And from the very beginning, like I'm feeling that like Halle Berry's character is it Angela?
Angela.
You know, she's kind of feeling him, but she like realizes that Marcus is feeling Jacqueline. So she's like, oh, like she's very pretty, isn't she? This, that, and the other. And he's like, yeah, you know, she's cool. And she's like, I mean, you could say it's obvious, like, you know, she's good looking. And while they're talking, I believe he made a point to say something like, you know, you women, you know, love saying another woman is attractive or this, that, and the other. And so she's like, yeah, but if you see a good looking guy, couldn't you just say like that guy's good looking? And he's like, what, me? And it's very much like that whole like no homo energy where it's like, as a man, I can't say another man looks good.
Of course.
And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, why is that something you can't say?
Because if I say that a guy looks good, then that means maybe I want to get with him. And so that was the whole thing. He's like, oh, yeah, I might acknowledge, yeah, I saw Billy D. Williams in the movie. He was cool. I thought he was a cool brother, but it wasn't like I was trying to hook up with him. And she's like, all right, man. It's like, I didn't say I wanted to hook up with Jacqueline either. I just said she was attractive.
Like, that's one thing that I can say that, generally speaking, we've come a long way with that. I think that men have gotten better. I mean, some men still clearly would never say another guy looks good for the same reason. But I was thinking about, and this is really random, I was recently watching the newest season of Love is Blind. It's the UK version. And on that, in it. And on that show, I've noticed that like the guys have no problem like showing emotions with other men and like, oh, bro, you look mad good and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, see, we need more of this energy, like more of this, like just positive affirmation from your friends, from your male counterparts, like the male on male bromances and all that. I love it, man. It's healthy.
Americans aren't there yet. It's gonna take us some time.
Not quite.
Some time.
Okay.
We also have to talk about Strong J. I don't know how she has.
I was going there next.
Yeah, I'm like, because this character is outlandish, outrageous.
So how do we meet her?
We'll talk about how we meet her first, I guess. But I was also gonna say the other guy that works for Marcus is also pretty outrageous. I forget his name.
The guy, basically it's the guy who does like the commercials for him.
Yeah, like he's like head of creative or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we meet Strong J?
So Strong J shows up at the launch party. A helicopter lowers down a giant crate outside of the party. When the crate opens, there are men wearing horse reins, carrying her in a chariot, running into the party as she pretends to whip them and is yelling with like a black leather outfit on.
Oh my Lord.
Like it is a scene. It is a scene. And literally every time she is in this film, she is like turning up to the max. Like on some
Oh, my
she
Lord.
has like no regard for like couth or like no regard for like, yo, where am I? Making sure that I'm like being appropriate for the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, one of the chemists who's trying to create a perfume for her, she says like, this is not what I'm looking for. I need something that has the essence of sex. And she takes off her drawers in the middle of the meeting and rubs it all over his face and says, it needs to be like that. So I'm like, so you want your perfume to smell like vagina? Like,
I mean, well,
That's
yes,
interesting.
because here's the thing. Here's the thing about Strong J. So Strong J is the new.
like would
face
you
of
would you
this-
wear vagina perfume? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's what women are into, but
And that's the thing too. Like it's for women.
yeah, like
This is not. You're not trying to sell to men.
you're just walking
or-
around smelling like Strong J's vagina.
Or so she's the new face of this cosmetic line, right? So it's like in the board meetings, they have to have her input because, this is who we're trying to appease. She's this big time model. And, we got to make sure that she signs off on whatever we're doing. And when you're talking about like, do you want the perfume to smell like her box? There were a number of different names that she had proposed for this perfume. And
Steel vagina.
Steel vagina, yeah. That was one of them. Steel vagina, love puss, wet spot 10.
Wet spot 10 is amazing.
Afterbirth for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that was thrown into the mix.
He
And then
said, I couldn't tell if you were saying birth. Because she had the French accent.
After birth?
After what?
After birth.
I'm sorry, I thought you said bath.
No, it's English. B-I-R-T-H, birth.
I was just making a distinction between birth or bath. Birth. Ooh.
Beth.
and-
Beth.
and then pig puke. And pig puke, why was that thrown in there as well? I have no idea. But she was out of control. And when you're talking about the guy that was working for Marcus for the commercials, his name, he's played by Jeffrey Holder, and his name was Nelson. And Nelson, when we first meet Nelson, he basically has this commercial that he is proposing they put on for
Nelson, that's
This-
his name.
for this new like kissable like lipstick that they have for their cosmetic line. And this commercial is so crazy. It's basically a bunch of women and it's like, oh, kissable, new lipstick. And so it shows these women like eating different fruits, but in a very sensual way.
Bro.
So you have a woman like, eating a banana, and we all know what that's trying to insinuate. They have one.
She doesn't even bite it though. She's literally just
No,
like,
she's just putting it down her throat.
she's just slobbing this banana. She's licking cherries very
Yeah,
suggestively.
the cherries were crazy. I'm sorry.
The whole thing was crazy. Then she starts putting the lipstick in her mouth. Like she's literally sucking the lipstick. Like, come on, bro.
It's like nobody uses lipstick like this.
This is not an appropriate ad at all.
And again, the ads are for women. I have to stress this enough. But again, like if I'm a woman who's into women, then by all means, maybe I'm your market audience, and that's what you're looking for. So maybe that's where they were going with it. But it's like on a general level, like what are we doing here? So so Strong J just does her own thing, and you already know from the very beginning, like she's one of these characters that once we see her on the screen, it's gonna be a wild scene.
Every time.
Every single time. And I mean, between the oh my God and the laughter, I don't even know which one was more. It was just a lot. I'll say that. It was a lot to take in. So as the movie progresses, you see that Marcus is just actively pursuing Jacqueline. He's like, yo, I got to. And eventually he is able to sleep with her.
On a work trip in New Orleans.
Yes. They're there to work, of
After
course.
she's been literally like playing with his head the whole time. Cause they even go out to dance and she's like, yo, you gotta stop. Like he's like dancing on her, grabbing on her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yo, it's too far. Let's go home. He's like, all right. So then when they get to their hotel, of course they have rooms right across from each other because
Of course
they do. And then he's like fumbling with his keys, and she's like, "Yo, come here." And then he's like, "Huh?" And then he comes over, and then they just start making out. So I'm like, so what was this whole like cat and mouse thing that she was doing? Like she did the whole thing with the Knicks game. She was playing him to the side when they went out in New Orleans, and then once they get back to the hotel, she's like, "Yo, let's smash." And then they just have sex. So it's like, all right, that was kind of a waste of time, but all right, they ended up sleeping together anyway.
So now, for some reason, this man is like in love.
Yeah, what was that about for you? Because he obviously does not get emotionally attached to anybody that he sleeps with. Why do you think this Jacqueline character was so different for him?
Maybe the fact that she had power over him, and the fact that it wasn't as easy as he thought it was going to be?
Honestly, I thought that was what it was too. Like, I think the fact that his usual tricks didn't work, and she actually ended up being the one manipulating him. I mean, hence the title, Boomerang.
Right.
I feel like that almost like turned him on more of like, yo, this is... Because even when he meets Layla Rashawn in the park, like he meets her, gets her over his house, and sleeps with her like within the span of like a day or two. And even at the beginning of the movie, we see that he's sending flowers to like 7 different women. So obviously he's able to like turn these situations around pretty quickly.
Right.
And this took him all of like 3 weeks, which is also still not a very long time, but in his mind, it's like, I waited forever.
Yeah.
So, and also, like you said, she basically has held all the cards in all of their interactions. And I think that intrigues him because he's not able to do his usual thing. So then he's just like, in his mind, he's like, oh, this girl's fantastic. She's amazing. When it's like, oh, she just didn't sleep with you right away.
Right. And so now he's convinced, like, oh, like, she's the one. This is my girl. Like, this is it. And so...
all the way in. Like, he's, like, fully claiming this woman now.
Yeah, it's crazy. He gets back to work, and he's, like, giddy with excitement. He's trying to, like, cuddle up with her and kiss her, like, in the office. And she's like, bro, like, relax.
He comes in the office like, hey, babe. I was like, babe? I said, babe?
And she's meeting with someone else. Like, Angela was in there talking to her. Like, he just walked in and said, babe. Like,
that was crazy.
That's insane.
That was insane. These people who don't have no workplace boundaries, that's first of all.
At all. Not to mention the fact that she's telling everybody who will listen that she slept with him.
And she's telling them how good it was.
She tells Sean J. She tells Angela. It's like the whole office knows what's going on.
The whole office. She's like proudly touting the fact that she had sex with this man, which is also strange because it's like he has sex with everybody. So why are you so proud about this? And
also, you're his superior.
So exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's nothing about it that you should be bragging about. If anything, you should be, very much embarrassed by it. But clearly, she is not. So now Marcus is like, yo, like, this was great, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are we doing? And she's like, okay, whoa, relax. And he's like, wait, are you trying to say that the thing in New Orleans was just a fling? Is that what you're trying to say? And she's like, I mean, I'm not saying that, but also like maybe we should take a beat and like do our own thing, Like, let's not make it hot.
She's basically saying like, I don't want to be your girl, but we could run it back.
Right.
But he doesn't get it though. He thinks it's like, oh yeah, let's just move slow. But she's like, no, we're not going anywhere. Like, this is not proceeding anywhere. We're not moving. Right.
Yeah, so he's not getting it at all. And there's one part where she is out of town for some like work conference or something.
Yo. Keep going. This part is just crazy.
So apparently, and like I was kind of unclear, like, did they have plans to go to see this show? Or did he just like go ahead and just buy them thinking that she would be available? That was kind of unclear to me. But either way, so she's away and he goes and he spends $200 for tickets to this show. And apparently she was supposed to come back and meet up with him, but she doesn't come back. And so now he's like, yo, where is she at? He's on the phone, like calling people like, yo, like, what's Jacqueline? Apparently he calls like the airport to see if the flight landed on time. Like,
they're like, the flight landed 4 hours ago. It's like, what?
And he's like trying to call, like, was she on the flight? It's like, bro, they're not going to give you that information. He's spazzing out. So eventually she ends up showing up at his apartment, knocks on the door, and he opens the door and she's there. And he's like pissed. He's like, where were you? I thought you were going to be here. You know, I spent $200 on this thing. You didn't even show up. And, you know, she's like, oh, Marcus. She's like, you're mad at me? And she's very much giving like the whole like, you know, I know, like, I'm watching it like, okay, she knows she was wrong, but she's going to play it off like, I didn't think you'd be mad. Like, what's the big deal? Blah, 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 blah. And she eventually like comes into the apartment, giving him like this coy face. And, you know, she's like, well, I'm sorry. If you want me to go, I can just leave. And he's like, no, I don't want you to go. You're already here. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. She's wearing this long trench coat because it's raining outside. And so she's like, you sure you want me to stay? She opens up her trench coat, and of course she's wearing nothing but lingerie. And he's
it's a bra and panty set. It's like
he's like, you ain't got no clothes on.
She's like, no, I don't.
She's like, no, I don't.
And also, Jacqueline is basically pulling a Marcus, right? Like that's kind of the whole purpose of this character is that he's met his match. All of the manipulation that he has been pulling on these women over the course of however long he's been doing it, presumably his entire adult life. Mm-hmm. Now he's finally met his match where it's like, oh, it's happening to you. And you actually don't like it so much when you're on the other end of it.
Exactly.
So I guess this is meant to kind of serve as a lesson for Marcus.
Well, it's supposed to.
But yeah, for me, I'm still not sure that he actually learned that lesson. Because Marcus, man, like, so after this happens, again, like you said, she's telling everybody that they slept together. She tells Strange, they go to dinner with Strange, and Strange is like pushing back on the plan that they have for this commercial shoot. Yes. So then when Jacqueline walks away from the table, she's like, yo, Marcus, like, when are we gonna have sex? And he's like, what? And she's like, yo, like, this is what it is. Like, if we're going to work together, and I heard you're good in bed, like, Jacqueline already told me you really know how to move your ass. And he's like, what? My ass? Like, what are you talking about? And then she's basically telling him about how great her private parts are. And in the middle of the restaurant, like, takes her drawers off again and opens up her legs and is like, yo, you don't want this? And it's like just showing it to him in the middle of the restaurant. Then she just starts yelling the word pussy over and over and over again, like five or six times, like in the middle of the restaurant. Then he's like, what's wrong with you? You don't want to have sex with me? I'm Strange. Are you gay or something? He's like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm gay. He's like, you're not gay. I know when somebody's gay. My brother's gay. Then she starts pointing at people in the restaurant. She starts outing people in the restaurant. This man is gay. I was like, this is way too far.
Yeah. It was
add that to the list of things that did not age well.
Did not age well at all. I was like, okay. And going back to the whole, like, if you don't want this, like, are you gay?
Cue eye roll.
And sigh. There was a similar conversation that was held with Martin Lawrence's character with when he was talking to Gerard and Marcus. This is back when Marcus was trying to sleep with Jacqueline and she just kept curving him at every turn. And basically Martin Lawrence's character is like, oh, like she must be into women because otherwise why else would she not want to sleep with you? And it's like that line of thinking towards anyone to think that like, oh, because they don't want me, they must be into the same sex. It's like, why is that the solution?
Because Marcus has never been turned down before, and apparently neither has Strange. This is the only way they can make sense of it in their heads.
It's the most ridiculous thing. And I'm so glad. I think that I have, at least nowadays, they wouldn't put that in a movie. But back then, that's something that clearly was in the film. And I also feel like I remember hearing things like that in undergrad from people who like, you know, you're dating someone and it's like, oh, how long has it been? It's like, I don't know. They don't want to, oh, they must be. And it's like, bro, why is that the only reason?
It's the only, it's the only thing I could think of. It's the only thing I could think of. I can't think of any other reason why this person does not want to have sex with me. They must just not be attracted to my entire gender.
Yeah, pretty trash. And I think the thing about Jacqueline, so in addition to the fact that she's blabbing about the hookup to everybody who will listen. It's the fact that after they hooked up that night, when she came in wearing nothing but the drawers and the bra under the trench coat, when Marcus wakes up in the morning, Jacqueline is gone, and she left $200 in cash on his dresser.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that part. That was crazy.
Which was very much like, thanks for your services, sir. I was like, ooh.
And then
Which is wild.
He felt crazy after that.
You have to.
Because then he's like, yo, don't worry about the $200. I'll pay you back. And he's like, no, it's not about the money. It's about you, like, left me out here. So then she sleeps with him and then just, like, leaves $200 bills on his bedside table, which is nuts. So this woman is a straight animal. Like, she's like... And I think for Jacqueline, she probably viewed Marcus as, like, yo, he's just like me. Like...
Yeah.
He has this reputation of like sleeping with women and like he doesn't really want to get attached. I don't want to get attached.
Right.
And he's good in bed. So like we could
perfect.
just sleep together and it'll be fine. Like I don't think she saw that he was going to get so emotionally attached to her because he has never done that. And it's like, oh, I came to this company. I heard about this guy who's just like a playboy. So, like, yeah, I'm going to go sleep with the playboy, and I don't have to worry about it because I know I don't want to be with him anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, from her perspective, like, this is an easy win, but it ends up being way more complicated. After the whole Strange yelling pussy in the restaurant thing, they kind of, like, call off ties, and Marcus is now sick because he's like, oh, I thought I was going to be with Jacqueline. She doesn't want to be with me.
Yeah.
And this is when this is when he starts. I was gonna say this is when he starts hanging out with Angela more. But
yeah, that's kind of where I was going as well. So like, yeah. So basically, even with the breakup, it was Jacqueline who basically starts that because she's like, "Bro, this is not what I want. You're doing too much." And even again, when she breaks up with him, she tells everybody in the office because when he shows up to work the next day, basically the other women are like pointing and laughing at him.
Again, let's reiterate the fact that she is a chief executive in this office, and she's like gossiping with the receptionists and the analysts of the office about how Marcus is in bed and how she dumped his ass. Like this is like crazy. Like this is wild and inappropriate. Like why are you? You're one of the bosses of this company. Why are you doing this?
So for some reason in this company there is no HR.
Apparently not. The HR woman might have been in the circle gossiping with Jacqueline. For all we know, she might have been the one giggling. Oh, look, he's coming. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
So Angela, played by Halle Berry, initially, so she gets introduced to Gerard at that big merger party, and as Joel said earlier, Gerard's character is very shy around women. He doesn't even really know how to interact with them. It's just all very awkward. Like when you see him trying to interact with Angela, you're just like,
how about that good night kiss with Angela?
Oh my god,
how'd you like that?
It's just so cringe. Like you just feel so bad for him because you're like, bro, you just never learned.
I guess this is the part of the night where we have to. I'm gonna count down from 5. Close your eyes. I was like, this is crazy.
Yo, can you imagine somebody asking you to count down before a kiss?
No. And then he missed. They kissed her on the nose. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah,
what are you
so
doing?
it's
this
like
is crazy.
he was trying, and Angela's kind of like, I mean, he's nice, blah blah blah. Like even like the dates that they had, it wasn't gonna go anywhere. That's been established. And there's actually a scene. I mean, do we want to talk about the scene with Angela where she meets Gerard's parents?
This is exactly where I was going next. Thanksgiving. So this is the whole thing. So now Marcus is being consoled by Angela. They're hanging out more, and they decide to have Thanksgiving dinner at Marcus's house. So Angela's there.
It's
Gerard's house. No.
I thought it was Gerard's house. Is Marcus?
No, because remember.
Oh, you're right. Because he's king
they
of
all
the end.
leave
You're
at
right. You're right.
So Gerard comes over, Tyler comes over, and then Gerard's parents come over because he wants them to meet Angela. Well, also, actually, he probably doesn't want them to meet Angela because he's actually kind of embarrassed by his parents. But they're in town for Thanksgiving, and so he begrudgingly introduces them to Angela. And this is where Pops shows up, a.k.a. John Witherspoon, and he's in his full Pops bag. This is like one of the most iconic John Witherspoon scenes with the, you got to coordinate. Got to have the mushroom belt. And the bang, bang, bang at the dinner table. And he said, Marcus, I heard this girl got you pussy whipped. You gotta flip it around on him.
Now, Marcus, I hear a girl dog got you pussy whipped. Why don't you reverse it? Don't be pussy whipped. Whip that pussy. Look. Bang, 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 bang.
Well, yeah, nah, he's amazing. Like, John Witherspoon he just takes over that scene, and it's entertaining. As many times have I seen this movie, every time that scene comes on, I'm still entertained.
But the thing about it is like, I'm watching it, and like, if you imagine being poor Gerard in this situation,
Oh, awful.
it's like, bruh, this is not funny. It's actually quite disgusting.
It would not be funny at all if you were Gerard.
It's actually quite disgusting, and you and mom have got to grow up.
They also go and have sex in the guest bathroom,
God.
and
Now,
they're missing for like an hour.
This couple is so boned up that it's like I mean,
Incredibly.
the most I think that we might have seen on the show. It's like, I mean, on this podcast so far, it's like, bro, like all they do is talk about sex and like, oh, you're a father, blah blah blah. It's like, bro, like I'm your son and I'm sitting right here. Like, why do I want to hear this conversation? And the friends are just laughing because, like, as a friend,
it's hilarious. It's not my parents. That's why it's funny because it ain't happening to me.
But it's almost like, poor Gerard is just, I don't know.
But then it's also like, oh, this is why he's like this.
Yeah, it's almost like he went the opposite direction. Like his parents are so open about it that he's so closed off about it.
His parents are so over the top that he's probably was, traumatized.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't even know how to initiate sexual contact. He didn't even know how to like kiss this girl goodnight at the end of a date.
Yeah.
So
Sad.
yeah, his parents kind of ruined him, but it's a hilarious scene. So at the end, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so then the dinner, everyone leaves, and Angela basically offers to help Marcus clean up because, as you can imagine, at the end of Thanksgiving dinner, there's a number of pots and pans and plates.
Now his
and
kitchen's
glass.
a mess.
I mean, it's terrible. And so she's like, I'll help you clean up. So he's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. So they end up, cleaning up together. And then at the end, they're sitting down on the couch and they end up having this conversation. And they
fall asleep watching Star Trek.
Yeah, it turns out that they're both Trekkies. And they start watching Star Trek and she starts falling asleep. And they start having this like intimate moment, right? And it's this connection where Marcus is kind of like, yo, this girl is pretty dope.
You already know.
And then you
already know what's coming next.
He starts kissing her and
what are we doing? We shouldn't be kissing. Oh, friends can't kiss? No.
Friends can't, yeah.
And then it's like, all right, man.
The friends can't kiss. Yo, the friends can't kiss kind of reminds me of like being like younger, like undergrad or whatever, and like guys will come up to you and be like, ask other girls and be like, oh, like, you got a boyfriend? And if you'd be like, yeah, they'd be like, well, you can't have a friend. It's like
no.
That line used to always
your
kill
boyfriend
me.
doesn't allow you to have no friends? That's crazy. He sounds a little overprotective. It's like, all right, man.
It's like, you don't want to be my friend. Stop it.
Yeah, I stopped you in the middle of the street because I was looking for a new friend. That's exactly what happened. I'm offering you drinks at the club because I am looking for friendship. So, as you can imagine, Gerard is not happy about this. And the whole time while it's happening, I'm like, this is crazy work because, granted, Angela and Gerard is probably a dead end.
Yeah.
However,
Still your boy.
this is your man's. And your man's has like feelings for this girl. He's been seeing her. This is insane for me.
It really is.
Because it's one thing if it's like, hey, I'm thinking about kind of seeing Angela. Would you be okay with it? But it's like, nah, he doesn't do this. He doesn't even just go out with her. He sleeps with her and then tries to ask Gerard about it after the fact. So it's like, bro, like what?
It's real messy. It's real messy.
And it's like, so you weren't thinking about any of this. And what happened to the whole I'm in love with Jacqueline thing? Like, that's out the window as well. So this woman that you said you were in love with, you're immediately over her. and now you're sleeping with the girl that's been on dates with your best friend.
Yeah, I didn't like that connection at all. I was like, what?
It's absolutely
Why
insane.
is this happening? I was like, why is this happening?
It's absolutely insane.
And also now, and of course now you have feelings for her. Now it's not just like a one and done. Now y'all are hanging out. Now you want to be with her. And it's
she's painting her art in his house. I'm like, did this woman move in? Like, what's happening here?
It seems like she did.
Yeah.
It seems like she did move in there.
Yeah, because then she's even like sleeping in his bed at night.
Yeah.
And like all mad of her art stuff is like in his living room.
So now they're together.
Yeah, they're together now. Gerard is pissed, and he
As he should be.
just moves on, I guess. So then they have this basically towards the end of the movie, they have this showing of the new ad after the other dude. What's his name again? Nelson like screwed up an ad. He was awful. Marcus starts to get his juice back because he was like depressed and he was screwing up at work. Then he starts hooking up with Angela. He starts his work starts getting better. He makes an ad. The executives from Paris come to see it. They love it. And Jacqueline basically is like, "Oh, can you come to see the execs tonight?" And he asks Angela about it, and she's like, "No, if you want to go, then go." And I feel like she was like giving him a test. A test that he failed miserably. Because although we don't see him have sex with Jacqueline again.
Yeah, it's implied.
It's definitely implied because he comes home mad late at night. He basically sneaks back in the bed and he thinks Angela's already asleep, but then she opens her eyes with her back turned. So then she asks him about it the next morning, like, yo, bro, like, what are you on? And he's like, oh, yeah, I love you, da-da-da. She's like, well, love should have brought your ass home last night.
Yep.
So how? So she basically cusses him out and is like, yo, you are pretending to be real with me, but you're not real. You're trash.
Yeah. And actually, I believe she said something about like how she was like, they broke up and then she's like, oh yeah, like I'm taking my stuff, or later on she coming to get her stuff. So apparently she was living there and she ends up moving out. And I'm watching this and I'm like, so what is he on? Like, I couldn't quite figure him out.
He has no self-control and he has no relationship history, so he actually doesn't know how to maintain one.
Oh, so basically if the box is offered, he's just going to say yes.
Yes. We saw that happen with Eartha Kitt. We saw that happen.
But at least
we have not
that
seen
was
him
like-
turn down. Well, he did turn down Strong J. So
Oh, yeah.
that is the one
did.
time he did.
He did. He did.
But yeah, I feel like they obviously had great sexual chemistry. And then she basically hit on him again. And then even after Angela breaks up with him, he ends up back at Jacqueline's house again.
Yeah.
And then that's when he finally like realizes like, yo, what am I doing? Like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I love Angela. And she's like, well, why are you here? And he's like, exactly. And that's when he leaves, which is like crazy.
Okay.
At this point, Angela's moved on. She actually got a new job where she's like in a promoted position. She starts dressing less frumpy. So we're led to believe that she's now making more money.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about the ending of this movie because
Yeah.
he shows up. First of all, he doesn't even show up first. He uses the kids that she used to volunteer some after-school art classes. So he has two of the kids show up to her office to see her. And they're like, oh, we miss you so much. You haven't been teaching our class anymore. And she's like, oh, who brought you guys here? Who's teaching the class now? And they're like, oh, we have a new teacher. It's a he.
teacher.
She's like, what? So then, of course, it's Marcus, who it doesn't make any sense at all because number one, what
qualifies him to teach art?
Number two, he's not an art director. So then he shows up copping pleas, talking about like, yo, I love you, da da da. I quit my job for you. And she's like,
Oh my
what?
God.
I didn't tell you to quit your job.
Right.
Like, why did you do that? So then she's like, well, give me one reason why I should even listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then what does he even say? I don't even remember what his answer was. I just remember I didn't like it.
I don't know. Honestly, like I feel like at that point, like you know when you're watching something and you just turn your head away because you're like, I can't.
I know where this is going. Yeah, I feel like he said something along the lines of like, do you still love me?
Ugh.
And then she was like, oh, yeah. And then they started kissing. And then they're like, we're back together.
You still love me? Yes, I love you so much. I miss you.
I'm scared.
And I'm miserable. I can't breathe without you.
Because the whole thing about it is like, we started getting together. We're building this relationship together. You go back and sleep with your boss again. The one who's basically broke your heart. The one who's been telling about your sexual exploits to the entire office. And then you lie about it. You try to sneak back in the bed after you've done this. Like, and I feel like there's really no coming back from that, especially for someone who's supposed to be a smart woman.
Exactly.
And
And
everything she says when she cusses him out is like, yep, she's right. So it's like, for her to just have this change of heart because of this one kind gesture at the end, it just didn't feel like it made sense for me.
And also, like, the kind gesture doesn't really benefit me in any way. How is you quitting your job gonna benefit me? Because now I'm the sole breadwinner for our family?
Oh no, that's not a kind gesture at all. I meant him. I meant him showing up with the kids.
Oh,
and
okay.
professing his love, and he can't live without her, and blah blah blah.
But again, I feel like for me, I would just see that all as BS. So I wouldn't even see it as a kind gesture. I'd be like, oh, this is Marcus doing Marcus things.
Well, I guess that's the other question: is like, do you think this couple lasts? Is it BS? Maybe Marcus hasn't learned anything.
I think in the real world, they absolutely do not last.
Okay.
In the movie world, they do because they end up having a Boomerang series. So,
wait, what?
Oh,
the
yeah.
TV series.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's not Eddie Murphy and Halle Berry.
So basically, it's like a Boomerang series that BET took up for 2 seasons. It basically follows Jacqueline's son and Marcus and Angela's daughter.
Oh God.
So
okay.
in the Boomerang world, yes, they are still together. But in the real world, I would say a hell no, because
they probably broke up a month later.
If that. Because like he's probably like, all it takes is Jacqueline or someone else to come around again, and he's gonna be like, oh. Like,
but also, he just has no like emotional intelligence
at all.
So I feel like even if he was earnestly trying, he just would end up screwing up because he doesn't know any better. Yeah. It feels also like she's trying to level up in her life. I feel like Marcus is probably not the right move for her.
It's going backwards.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense. It's good for him, but then it's like, how does this work for Angela? Like, this one of those endings that's supposed to be a happy ending for Marcus, but it's like, this is a terrible ending for Angela. This movie ends worse for her.
That's how I felt. Like, I was like, I know it's supposed to be like, a nice rom-com, but I was like, ugh.
Yeah. So on that note, what theme did you draw from this film?
I mean, I think the obvious theme is the whole what goes around comes around idea.
Yeah.
Because
Boomerang.
obviously, exactly. The way he's treating these women, it comes back and it bites him in the butt, and he realizes, I guess, that what he's doing is wrong and hurtful, and it blah blah blah. But I still don't really personally. I still didn't really understand like why he decided to settle with Angela. Like, for me, I didn't get any scene where it was like, okay, they're doing these things and there's this deep connection, and this is why he decides he wants to be with her. Like, I just didn't.
Well, I feel like Angela was invested in. First of all, she like talked to him. She listened to him, and he did get that from other women, but he wasn't listening to them, so it didn't matter. Jacqueline certainly wasn't interested in anything that he had to say.
Right.
But even I think like over the course of him dealing with the Jacqueline breakup and like him bringing her when she brought him to like the volunteer class and just different things that they were doing, helping him with the dishes at Thanksgiving. They didn't show like a ton of scenes of them together, but I was led to understand that they had built a friendship that only happened because he wasn't trying to sleep with her.
Oh, so because he was able to form a friendship, he decides now I should try to sleep with her. I mean, now I should be with her because like we're friends. Like this is my first female friend, basically. So I should date her.
Basically. It's like, oh, she's a good woman and she listens to me and she cares about me as a person. So this needs to be my girl.
I mean, like I said, it's a come up for him. I mean, good for him, I guess. I just wasn't into it. Like I didn't feel good for Angela. So I was like, all right, I guess.
All right, let's do
you like it, I love it.
Let's do some fun facts and then do some
There's
ratings.
a lot of good ones actually for this film. So the one thing actually that I did notice watching this movie is the styling and persona of Eddie Murphy in this movie was much different than what you've seen him in before, right? When you think about the Beverly Hills Cop movies, or you think about what's the other movie he did? Was it like 48? No, it was a TV show he did called gosh, I can't remember the name of it now.
48 Hours?
Yeah, it's like he's always plays like these, just like, or even like Trading Places. It's like this is very like funny man, and he's just there, you know, like for the jokes or for the action. But you don't really see him as like a character that's necessarily like meant to be like attractive or like, you know, a sex icon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this movie, they made it so that he came in wearing like these crazy nice suit jackets, very tailored. His facial hair was cut in a way where it was like, oh, like Eddie's out here like showing out. And it was very intentional the way that they dressed him. So apparently they had him wearing only, and I might be saying this wrong because I don't know this company very well, but it's like Theory Mugler suits. Basically like these suits.
You know I don't know.
These suits, the suit jackets start at about $2,000 and the dress pants start at about $880. Okay. So like it's like high, like, you know, high fashion. That's all he wore the entire film was like just fashion type clothing. And as you can see, it's like when you're watching the movie, pretty much everyone who had lines for the most part were black. It was very intentional. Like all of the staff was black. All the actors were black. When you saw white people, they just like happened to be in the background. So for instance,
the executives at the table.
Yeah, the
work.
4 guys who were like, you know, acting like horses running in with Strong J on the chariot were white guys. But it's almost like you're living in a world where it's like the black people, like, you know, are successful. You're working at an all black company. And what the producer was saying was that they wanted to make a film, you know, that was centered around black people, but it wasn't about being black. Yeah. Like the main theme wasn't about a black man trying to be, you know, an executive. He just happened to be black. The only time we really saw any racial stuff mentioned was from Tyler's character, because he was the guy, he's the friend who like sees race everywhere. Yeah. And everyone knows these people who like, I mean, he got upset because the white waitress said that they had asparagus spears instead of calling them asparagus tips.
But then when they go to that suit store, they actually do experience racism.
Yes. It was very much reminiscent of how they were treating Julia Roberts in
Pretty Woman, when they were treating her like a black person.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So that was the one scene where it was like, okay, they clearly are being racial here. I mean, he goes as far as say it's like when you're playing the game of pool, that the game of pool is racist. So things like that were like funny and put in there as a joke, but I did like the fact that it was very much black centered, and they gave a lot of black people a starting role. So what I wanted to mention was Toni Braxton sang the lead single from the soundtrack. Yeah. And it's called Love Should Have Brought You Home, based on the quote from Angela in the movie. So the song was actually written for Anita Baker, but Anita Baker was pregnant at the time and couldn't record it. So she suggested Toni. This was Toni Braxton's first solo debut. And the fact that this soundtrack went triple platinum. And it helped to launch her career because this movie came out in 92, and then Toni Braxton's self-titled album was released the following year in 93.
Oh, wow.
And she is now the Toni Braxton that we all know and love. So that kind of started her out, which was...
I love Toni.
Yeah, which was pretty exciting. This movie was the only top 20 movie that year with a predominantly black cast. So it did really well. And just some cool thing to talk about is... you notice that Eartha Kitt was in this film, and she used to play Catwoman back in the 1966 TV Batman show.
Yep.
And Halle Berry also played Catwoman in the 2004 movie.
Right.
So you had two Catwomans in here, which was kind of cool. They were thinking about casting Vanessa Williams as Jacqueline, which I think could definitely work.
That would have worked. I mean, she's gorgeous too.
Yeah. And initially, they said at one point when the script was being written, they pictured Arsenio Hall playing Marcus.
Okay, yeah.
Which I could definitely see as well.
I could see that, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Last thing I wanted to mention is that the director, Reginald Hudlin, he's also the same direction. Huh?
He's the BT guy.
He also was the guy who directed House Party.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I know he was a big-time executive at BET for some time.
Yeah. So this guy, he's doing his thing. So the issue that Marcus had with that one woman with the ugly feet, he said he couldn't date her because her feet was ugly.
Right.
He said this actually was based on a friend of his who said that he could not date a woman if he did not like their back teeth, which is very specific.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, how do you meet somebody like, yo, open your mouth for a second?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
All right. Rewind rating time?
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, this is a OG classic that I pretty much always enjoy every time I've seen it. I enjoyed rewatching it this week as well. There's probably a few things that didn't age well. And again, I think the biggest takeaway for me in terms of negatives is just the ending, which I just don't really enjoy. But I'm going to give this a 4.5.
Okay. That's a solid score.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm going a half a step lower and giving it a 4. I definitely laughed. I will say that.
Yeah.
And a lot of things about it, you're just like, this is ridiculous. And I'll say, along with you, as far as things that didn't age well, I'm not going to go through them, but they're there. They're glaring. So it's like, I'm a dock a point for that. So I'm going to give it a 4.
All right. Pretty solid scores. Let us know what you think of Boomerang. Give us your rewind rating, and you can reach out to us at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok. Facebook. I think I said that already.
All the things.
Yeah, reach out to us, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We will be back with another episode next week.
All right, guys. Later.